Thank you. Hello to welcome to Bournemouth University online. My name is Nuria, and regional manager for Turkey. I work in the International University, and it will be basically what we are going to do today, and I think a mixture of our university, but also students that are applicants out more about the university. So I have prepared just to introduce the university to them. They are not aware of who we are and what we are. So you will have the opportunity to find university if you are one of our ahead and ask us any questions that you may have. We have as well, there is Talia. She is from one of our student ambassadors, but also and, she's being the program in psychology last year, and this year another master in so she has plenty of things to talk with you with regards to her experience. And you will see a chat in the and please leave here. I'm at the end of our presentation ahead, and we will you may have. So I'm just going to so you can see the presentation I have created for you. Okay, let me see here.
Nuria, we can see your screen.
We can.
We
can.
Sorry, do you or can you not?
Yes, we can.
Okay. The only problem is that I cannot bring a little bit bigger. This is the typical thing, technical issue.
Nuria, don't worry about it. Can you click on the F5 button to make it full screen? I think it would work.
Here? No.
Yeah, on your keyboard there must be a button that's F5. Or where else can we do that? On the bottom of the presentation, bottom corner, there is a button that makes it full screen.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see that, but for some reason it's unable. It doesn't allow me to do that. So I am pressing that for the full screen, but at the moment I can't open it. So just enable the screen and to come back again and try. Okay, sorry guys, this is the we always have, but just please be trying to get there. Okay, share, just be with me. It will be actually better.
Yes,
can you see that was you know, the problem? Okay,
yeah, it's really
so good. Thanks. And so just to let you know where Bournemouth is, if you don't know our location, we are located in the and in the beautiful coast of small town, and it's 180 people as a population, so it's a small, one of the first choice destinations for tourism, cosmopolitan and international. quite a lot of people nationally and world. We are very popular because we have kilometers of beautiful sandy beaches. It is one of the first choice destinations for. We are located in the, you can see in the map where we are. We have an international airport that airlines that flies to Europe and also if you are planning to come, we will recommend you to Gatwick airports in London. Those are the closest destinations to in terms of how far away we are, basically 2 hours far away by train and or by coach. Information about this time the university. It was established in 1992 and Polytechnic, and the university has been teaching for 70 years because prior to being a polytechnic, so a college. So we are a professional specialized in vocational education. That is that all our courses offer part of so we make sure that we work very closely and all our students develop their are so important for basically. And during the recent years, we have gone through a huge investment, £250 million. These buildings are also in our academia. Pictures of the university, and you can see how very new, it's very modern as well. Our students always comment is university, how beautiful it is, and offers that modern kind of look as well. We have 2 campuses. Talbot campus is the home with the students, and we have Lansdowne, which is our business school and social service faculty. Campus also has most of the, and it has all the facilities that our in terms of restaurants, lecturers, where all the labs are, and it's also the much of our postgraduate well, most of students as well. And then students community, we have 17 students in total, 2,000 international, and they are coming from 100 different countries, so we are very international. From Turkey, students approximately. So what we teach, we have 4 faculties, and each faculty is the departments. And I'm not going through all of that we offer because we have more than 300 graduate and postgraduate study. Pick up the ones that I think are more relevant, and we have, and they are the most for Turkish students. So the faculty divided in 3 main areas, and we have programs in finance, we have programs in business and management, tourism and hospitality, and communication is divided in 3 main, and our animation, computer, digital department, which is one of the only centers of excellence in the UK. For all our media and communications department, we teach courses like marketing, PR. And then we have all the production area, television production, editing, those are the three main departments. Faculty of Science and Technology, and this faculty in areas. So we have a department for anthropology. Then we have a science. We teach programs like the foundation in clinical psychology, which is the for Turkish students, and then we have programs like a project engineering, designing as well, and courses in the computing, like a cybersecurity, data analytics, that are more popular as well for Turkish students. But not last is the Faculty of Health and which is divided as well in two main areas. Our nutrition and behavior is very popular for our. So some facts about the university is a professional university. We have industrial most of our institutions, and that is really important in finding a job. To have accreditation means basically that you have a bachelor's degree that has been accredited by pioneers in that area. So these courses are AA CSB accreditation. This accreditation is only available to the 5% best schools in the world, and they are only in the same category the Bournemouth University accreditation. Then you have accreditations like Institute of Marketing, you have accreditation Psychology Society. I could name of accreditations. It depends on the course that you want to study. As well is that all our undergraduate programs are work placement, and most of our. So if you are interested in an undergrad, in the third year, you have the option to do work placement, and we work with more than 3, and we help our students to find the placement. Each faculty that they are working with our students to find a placement. Master programs, in the programs in engineering, in hospitality, in computing, we offer as well. You can do your masters in 1 year or in 2 years. The other thing is all our courses start, but some of our masters have. And finally, we have professional guest lectures, because we have with the industry, we ask people, and owners of big, come to the university to talk to our students. The people that I have in the left-hand side in the slide. Pekan, he is a naturalist, television presenter, and he does quite a lot. He's very famous in the UK. So he came in the biological and environmental environment to talk about what he does and to introduce a little bit the industry and what they can expect. And then for those of you that are interested in, well, Bournemouth is in the Premier League. Howie is he is the manager, and he came to talk to our sports management students about opportunity for them as well. So in logos of the we work with and where our students, so you can recognize some of them are very very famous as well. Our jobs in different areas, and some of our students between 20,000 to depends on what you do. So it's because one that choose the student, obviously it's not something the university for each of the job opportunities. You will need to prepare for that interview, because I'm a lawyer that choose the best to work for them. But it's a fantastic opportunity for us. It's what we are very good at providing professional education. So accommodation, we offer accommodation at the university, but our accommodation is guaranteed. Choices, and the student village or one of our accommodations. All our rooms are individual, are en suite. Apart from the student is, you can see they are houses and they are campus, and our students share bathrooms at the communal areas and the kitchens, but you will still have. In terms of price, you can expect to pay between 105 a week to 155. It will be that you choose. I put some pictures in here so you can expect to find. Okay, and we have hundreds of different rooms where you can choose to live. I've been a student myself, and for me, major worries: what am I going to live and be clean? And one thing I can guarantee: our accommodation is excellent. Of our investment as well, so you will be happy with that. So in terms of entry requirements, for those that are interested in bachelor's degree, we will be at between 3.5 your high school diploma. If I want to study a master's, depends on the request a GPA of 2.5. Some of the programs in clinical psychology and some of the request 2.7 GPA. That GPA, don't worry, because what we are profile as a student, so we will be looking and things that you have done. So in that sense, we are very flexible requirements. In terms of English, accept a variety of English qualifications, Pearson, password, but also what is important that you know, perhaps, if you're struggling with my accent, for example, this after the that you understand, the key points that we have an English, which is, if you have studied 4 in English, in charge you from English, we will accept that proof. So you don't need to take only for Bournemouth University. If you apply to check the entry requirements with other universities. Unfortunately, cheap in the UK, so we will all our bachelor's degree around £14,500. To study a master's is between 12 to BA is £15,000, and here, and the living cost in Bournemouth is, in other big cities, you can actually expect £15,000 just for the total cost that you need and to save money for your education per approximately 200,000 at the moment. Unfortunately, the tax so it's not in your favor. The good news is that we offer IT and of scholarship just to help our students have a GPA 8 for your bachelor's degree, you likely £3,500. And the graduate student and you are in high school, 80 grade points or 80, which is a GPA of 4. You will be given 2,500 at the university. We also offer reduction, but this one is the Dean's Scholarship. You need to apply for this one. For this scholarship, for this September is all the deadline, but because we offer courses in January, time is in November. If you will, to this this option as well. Then we have scholarship, opportunity scholarship, and that academic background that is based in financial situation in to apply scholarship. This is something that we do. So my office, we will be application and selecting which applicant. This one is limited. This one, if you have at least is with us and tell reasons. So if you're for some music scholarship is another option. And interested in the MBA, again, but just be aware that that one, the deadline has. So I think that is all from me. I'm going to close the presentation. Am I going basically the presentation to Talia? I don't know, Talia, to repeat some of the say that are in Turkish, you know, our audience on what I'm saying. So I try and be conscious that I have an accent, but usually people accent is easy to understand. Following the webinar quite well. I'm just going to pat our student ambassador.
Hi everyone, I will first introduce myself in Turkish, but first I will kind of summarize what Nuria says. So can everyone hear me very well? Is the connection good? If you can type it, good, okay. So I will just summarize what Nuria says in Turkish and then introduce myself in Turkish, and then I will start my presentation in English, but then I will summarize it in Turkish. So it will be English and Turkish. So merhaba arkadaşlar, ben Talya. Şu an okulda ikinci master'ımı yapıyorum. İlk master'ım klinik psikoloji üzerineydi. Geçen Eylül'de başlamıştım. Mayıs gibi bitti. Kasım'da mezun oldum. Şu anda ikinci master'ım dijital pazarlama üzerine yapıyorum. Bu master'da Ocak'ta başladığım için biraz daha geç bitecek. Yani seneye Mayıs'ta bitecek. Okulda öğrenci temsilcisi olarak çalışıyorum. Geçen yılın öğrenci temsilcisi seçildim. O yüzden biraz hani öğrenci temsilcisi olmak için neler yapılabilir? Onlardan bahsedeceğim. Şimdi Nuriye'nin söylediklerinden biraz özet geçeceğim. Önemli kısımlar şunlar. Başvurduğunuz bölüme göre ücretler değişiyor söylediği üzere. Burslardan bahsetmişti, o biraz önemli. Melis de sormuş. Dean Scholarship, yani size %50 burs imkanı veren bir burs. Ben onu almıştım. Ortamım 3.93'tü başladığım yıl. O yüzden başvurmanız gerekiyor ona ekstra olarak. Yani normalde diyelim ortalamanız 2.80'in üzerindeyse başvurduğunuz anda ve kabulünüz geldiği anda otomatik olarak master ve doktora öğrencileri için 3.500 pound, lisans öğrencileri için de 2.500 poundluk bir burs geliyor. Lisans öğrencileri için lise ortalamanızın 80'in üstünde olması halinde 2.500 poundluk bir burs geliyor. Benim bahsettiğim düzenli burs veren Dean's Executive Scholarship diye geçen burs için ekstra bir yazı yazmanız gerekiyor. 500 kelimelik. Ben ona başvurmuştum. Ve biriniz sormuş, hani erken ödeme de yapmıştım. O yüzden hani %50 burs artı %5 de erken ödeme bursuyla oldukça uygun bir şekilde master yapmıştım. Ve yüksek bir ortalamayla mezun olduğum için klinik psikoloji master'ından bu yeni yaptığım master'da da burs aldım. Biriniz sormuş bu dönem okul açılacak mı diye. Evet, tekrar açılacak. İlk dönem sadece online olacağı düşünülüyor. Ama uygulamalı dersler için okula gelmeniz gerekecek. Şimdi ben tekrar kendi sunumuma geçiyorum. Soruları İngilizce yazabilirseniz daha iyi olur. Çünkü ben sunumu yaparken Nuriye cevap verebilir sorulara. Buna ek olarak dediğim gibi her bölüm için bournemouth.ac.uk web sitemize girip bölümün adını yazarak oradan ulaşabilirsiniz. Ona baktıktan sonra da international fees ve entry requirements, yani her öğrenci için, her ülke için farklı kriterler var. İngilizce için de şu anda IELTS'le ilgili Nuriye bilgi verecek. Ama eğer mezun olduğunuz okul %100 İngilizce ise ve mezun olduktan 2 yıl içerisinde Bournemouth'a başvuruyorsanız IELTS'e gerek yok. Direkt gelebiliyorsunuz. Okul bu imkanı sunuyor. Dean's Scholarship için de maalesef tarih geçti. 3 hafta önceydi sanırım. Yani eğer Eylül'de başvurmak istiyorsanız, çünkü klinik psikoloji için Ocak girişi yok. Bir sene sonra başvurmak istiyorsanız Dean's Scholarship alabilirsiniz ama şu anda o burs yok maalesef. Beni duyabiliyor musunuz? Şu an ses gelmiyor demiş Sinan Bey. 2 bursu da aynı anda alamıyoruz arkadaşlar. Yüksek olanı kabul ediyorlar. O yüzden ben de sadece birini almıştım. Şu anda ekran paylaşımı yapacağım. Bakalım sorun olmaz umarım. Nuriye konuşmuyor şu an. Ben konuşuyorum. Ondan sonra ekran paylaşımı yapacak. Şu an görebiliyor musunuz ekranı? Bakayım. Evet, tamam. Başlatıyorum. Şimdi ben biraz öğrenci perspektifinden bakacağım. Nuriye biraz genel bilgi vermişti. Ben biraz daha öğrenci gözünden bakmak istiyorum. Başlayalım. Şimdi, I will now talk in English, guys. So I will now look from the student perspective. Nuria gave like a general information. So after, I will also summarize this in Turkish as well. And if there are any questions, please write them in English so that Nuria can answer them while I'm talking.
Talya Hanım, sunumunuzu göremiyoruz ama sadece siyah bir ekran görüyoruz.
Şu an görünüyor mu?
Hayır. Şöyle yapalım, ben kapatayım, siz tekrar açın ama application window seçmeyi unutmayın, olur mu?
Tamam. Öyle yapmışım, bir daha bakalım. Application window. Share. Tamam, şu an tekrar yaptım. Görünüyor mu?
Şu anda live form ekranını görüyoruz.
O zaman şöyle yapayım.
Sunumunuzu açabilirseniz.
Hı hı.
Evet, tamamdır.
Tamam. Evet, başlıyorum. Dondu galiba. Dondu. İlk defa bir donma yaşıyorum. Bir saniye. Tamam. Evet. Sanırım şu an Biraz dondum. Tamam, şu an iyi mi?
Şu anda sunumunuz evet tamamdır. Şimdi oldu. Tam ekranı alabilirsiniz.
Tamam. Hala görünüyor mu?
Evet, şu an çok iyi.
Hi everyone, I'm now going to talk to you about student life, and Nuria looks from the general perspective, and I will kind of give some information from student life, and then I will translate this to Turkish in the end. In terms of academic studies at uni, compared to the Turkish system, it is slightly different. So if you come either for undergraduates or postgraduates, okay. If you come for either undergraduates or postgraduate degree, instead of, for example, having just lectures on its own, you will have 8 to 12 hours of contact hours per week. That means you will be able to come to your lectures and talk to your lecturers for this amount of time on average. So, for example, for engineering, that might be 20 hours. For clinical psychology, that might be 2 days a week, around 12 hours. And the rest of the days and hours, you will be responsible to do your own research, your own study, and you will be able to manage your time really well. So it's slightly different from the Turkish system, and you get to write a lot about your assignments. You need to do some critical work and creative thinking and more practical work, especially for my case in clinical psychology. There are more learning in independent study, like I said, and also guest lecturers that are coming. So not just your lecturers that you see every week. There will be some other experts in their field that are coming to give you some lectures, talk about their expertise, and then you get to know them, and then you can email them and say, introduce yourself and say, I would like to have an opportunity to do some placement with you. And there are a variety of learning resources. So university would suggest you not to buy any books because they're already expensive, especially Pearson books. So everything you you can access everything in the library. There are ebooks, journal articles, brochures, everything you can find, and you can read them. Even if you're at uni using the library, you can still access them when you come home using our system Brightspace, which is similar to Blackboard. You have your username and student email and password. You will be able to access everything as if you're at uni. In terms of employability, I will kind of talk about part-time options and also what you can do after your studies. So for work placement, if you're doing an undergraduate degree, because university has a great connection with the industry, you will be able to have 1 year for placement. So for example, for undergraduates in Turkey, it's 4 years. In the UK, it's 3 years plus 1 year work placement, which is paid. So even some students get paid more than the professors, which is great. So you can do that. And as Nuria mentioned, 94% of our graduates find the job they in their field within 6 months of graduation, which is a great number. So 6 months, some people just spend some time to do their CVs, but university encourages you to build your CV with the career service that I will mention, and you will be ready by the time you graduate. For part-time options, because we're Turkish students, we're on Tier 4 visa, so we can work 20 hours a week if we're working outside uni. If you're working with the university, it's 15 hours a week. So you can work part-time. You can do something in your field. For example, in my case, when I was doing my degree in clinical psychology, I worked with the National Health Service and working with personality disorders. I was also a student ambassador, and I was the research assistant of my lecturer. So I've done all this stuff when I was doing my master's degree on my free time, and they gave me a lot of skills. In terms of career advice and guidance, like I mentioned, next to our library, there's a career service. For each faculty, there's a different advisor. In my case, clinical psychology was in SciTech, so I had someone from SciTech talking to me, checking my CV, personal statement, and I was able to do all these jobs thanks to the careers advice unit. So I would definitely recommend going there and introduce yourself, and you can find a job after your studies. In terms of alumni, I'm now an alumni, so I benefit from alumni opportunities for the next 3 years after graduation. So you can become one of our alumni members, and you can also become a mentor. So I'm currently a mentor. This is something you do voluntary, but it gives you a lot of skills. So, for example, for someone who's interested in the clinical psychology course, I would be their mentor, and I would voluntarily invest my time to help them and answer their questions and help them graduate. In terms of awards, I mentioned when I was a student ambassador last year, I was the student ambassador of the year. So you get to receive an award, which is really good. There's also something called GTP, so Global Talent Program, which is provided by the Careers Advice Unit. So this is something like a digital CV. So you can also get a GTP award. So you get like badges and skill sets. And every week there's someone from the employment, from the industry coming and introducing themselves. You can add them to LinkedIn, talk to them, build your network, and also receive an award at the end of the year. So rather than just sending a paper CV or your PDF file, you send them your GTP digital skill set, which is a website that they can see whatever you've done that year, which is really good. Nuria mentioned accommodation. I'll just briefly talk about expenses during your studies. So Bournemouth is not a very, very cheap town, but also not a very expensive town. I've lived in London, I've lived in Birmingham and Sussex. And compared to all these cities, Bournemouth was the best one in terms of safety and also budgeting as well. So, for example, I'm really careful with budgeting, and I cook my own food, which is really good if you are kind of worried about financial issues. So for accommodation, if you live in uni accommodation, it's £105 to £155 per week. And in addition to that, if you calculate your whole expenses, I would say it wouldn't exceed £1,000 unless you buy something really expensive. So if you have a part-time job, for example, and if you earn £400 to £500 a month, you wouldn't spend a lot of money from your budget that you bring to uni. So the £10,000 cap the government puts, for example, when you apply for a Tier 4 visa, that money would be enough for you. So it's calculated well. So if you spend your money wisely, the money you bring will be enough, and you will be able to save some more money. And also with September start, because with the new government regulations, you'll have 2 more years added to your visa, so you will be able to work after your studies full time, which is great for you to earn some money for yourself. Also for NUS, which is National Union of Students, if you go to Student Union and buy an NUS card, you will have great discount during your studies, especially for social stuff, cinema. You get like 30–40% off, which is really good. I put some pictures here from Bournemouth in case you're interested. Here you can see the arcade in town centre, which is literally in front of my house. Here you can see the beach, the gardens, Bournemouth Gardens. We have Lower Gardens, Upper Gardens, and Mid Gardens. We also have a perfect sandy 7-mile long beach, which is around 12 kilometers. And the nightlife in Bournemouth is also really good. So I would definitely say Bournemouth is one of the safest and most fun towns I've ever been in the UK, and it's very student friendly. Also, while you're here, you can also explore Dorset, which is the county. So there's Corfe Castle, Door, New Forest Beach, and you can all explore all these while you're a student. So because it's a touristic area, you get to use your student discount, go to these areas, just take the bus rather than traveling all the way from the world. Just come here and then you can visit all these touristic areas. We have a lot of clubs and societies as well at BU. So if you're interested in sports like swimming society, tennis society, sailing, Quidditch, if you're interested in Harry Potter, there's a Harry Potter society. There are different kinds of ones like cheese and wine society. So if you would like to create your own society, you can find 5 more students and build your own society. There's also a Turkish society, but my recommendation is do something that is different to your field, like to your course. I was in dance society, which is clinical psychology, so you can do either of these things. I also put a little video of Summer Ball. I'm not going to show the whole video, just briefly for Summer Ball. It's it's an annual fundraising opportunity that our university provides, and it's at the end of the year. So you kind of get to go to this festival with all your friends. You only need to purchase like a ticket, and also compared to other universities, for example, the University of Oxford, that will be kind of like a really formal one. But for us, it's really fun, and it's currently one of the biggest ones in the UK. So one of the biggest summer balls in the UK. So I would definitely recommend going to this one. So lastly, making the most of university is really important. So don't just go to lectures and do nothing else. All these opportunities are there, and you already paid for this, so they're all there for you to use, and make the right choice for you. So I'm really grateful that I've been to BU. I had all these opportunities, all these experience, and they were really lovely when I was looking for options, because I've been accepted to 15 universities in the UK, and BU was my choice, especially with Ask BU. When you email, you quickly get a response. The professors talked to me before I came here. We had a Skype session. I asked all my questions. So it's really important to have this opportunity. And here, like it says, everyone is in the same boat. When they start university, you'll be nervous, a new town, but in 2-3 months' time, everything will be really, really good. So I also put some more links here. To find out more, you can go to Unibuddy. There are some people who came from Unibuddy as well. If you go to Bournemouth University Unibuddy and then put the area of study, who you want to speak with from which country, and the level, if it's undergraduate or postgraduate, for example, currently from Turkey. There are 2 people, me and Bensu. So you can talk. There are also microsites, blogs and vlogs. So you can kind of benefit from them as well. So we talk about, for example, I talk about from the Turkish student perspective. And you can also follow us on BU International for our Instagram page, which I'm currently leading. So I will briefly summarize this in Turkish for you now. Just briefly. Arkadaşlar kısaca Türkçe anlatmak istiyorum. Yani dediğim gibi üniversite çok iyi bir yerde. Özellikle konum olarak İngiltere'nin en güneyinde. Şu anda oldukça sıcak. Ben yani Türkiye'de kaldığım yere göre diyebilirim ki Türkiye'de gibi şu anda çok sıcak ve güzel bir yer. Onun dışında dediğim gibi ayda 1000 pound'u aşmayacak şekilde bir ücret harcayacaksınız. Buna kira ve her şeyiniz dahil. Yani yeme içme, sosyal aktivite, kira, her şeyiniz dahil. Ve part-time bir işte çalışıyorsanız zaten yani 500 pound kazandığınızı düşünün. Sadece bir 500 pound cebinizden çıkmış olacak en fazla. Onun dışında şehirde gezebileceğiniz bir sürü yer var. Buralara gelip gezebilirsiniz. Öğrenci evinizi kullanabilirsiniz. Şu an Dean Scholarship'in tarihi geçti, onu söylemiştim ama bir sonraki Eylül'de başlayacak olanlar için özellikle benim bölümde klinik psikoloji başvurabilirsiniz. Eğer ortalamanız 3.5'un üstündeyse ve fakülteden sadece bir kişiye veriliyor. O yüzden ne kadar erken başvurursanız o kadar iyi. Okuldaki diğer kulüplere katılabilirsiniz. Onları söylemiştim. IELTS'inizle ilgili de dediğim gibi son 2 yani mezun olduğunuz okul %100 eğitim vermişse ve mezun olduktan 2 yıl içerisinde BU'ya başvuruyorsanız İngiltere IELTS'e ihtiyacınız yok. Kısaca böyle. Biraz daha sizin sorularınızı almak istiyorum. Detaylı yazabilirseniz öğrenci hayatıyla ilgili. Onları ben direkt cevaplamak istiyorum. Şimdilik durduruyorum ekran görüntüsünü. Okay, Nuria, I'm done, so we can answer some.
Thank you very so much, everyone that managed actually to. I can see. Thank you guys for questions and engaging, with us, because I don't think we have a lot of time. But questions with regards to internship for and also is something that you can answer, and the other the thesis in the master program, which you have fantastic. To leave those 2 questions for you, Talia. Do you write a very brief information about?
Mm-hmm. So in terms of internship, there's no compulsory placement. That's what they call is placement in the UK. They don't, but what they do is every week the lecturer comes to you and says, look, there's this opportunity, you can apply for this, you can apply for that. So that's what I've done. I work with the National Health Service, which is in Turkish called Sağlık Bakanlığı, for probably a year, working with personality disorders, and it was really interesting. So although it wasn't listed as a placement, I've done it myself because I went to my lecturer and introduced myself. So you have the option to do that. And Helen, for example, the clinical lead, she will come and tell you like there are some other options. In terms of dissertation, it is not an actual research. You do a really in-depth literature review. So you don't use SPSS or anything, but you still need to know a lot of statistic knowledge for advanced statistics lecture. But for dissertation, you pick a topic that you're really interested in, and you do an in-depth literature review. So it's all about literature review. Yes, so everyone can reach me from Unibuddy, guys. I'm just putting the link again. Okay.
And I really don't think there's any other has been trying, because we were running late presentations, and I wanted to answer all your questions. For someone, if you are in how much the program will be, well, you want to do. If it's undergraduate, so it will be 9,250. If you are interested in a master program, will depends on the program that it varies between 6,000 to 8,000 EU, UK students as well. I of all our courses, so you will have the opportunity to go and to visit our web pages and of programs that we offer, the cost of the programs, and so it's almost everything. Actually, made with regards to the internship programs. I know that there are quite a lot of students. We also have the clinical neuroscience, some kind of work. And it's even easier for our students that job opportunities with hospitals, with with war and so our students find different job opportunities even in the available areas like in psychology. So the faculty will have opportunity that we offer to our students is to be of our academics research. So you will not get paid for this. The opportunity for you just to be involved with some. At the end of your program, you will also receive a letter from the Vice Chancellor helping our academics in research for your CV. So that is something additional for the psychology students. In terms of the other students, the management or engineering or hospitality programs, so you have the opportunity to do. The good thing is 2021, so students that graduate in 20 can stay in the UK for 2 more. I'm not sure if Talia covered the presentation because some of the stuff that she was. I don't speak Turkish, but you need to know is that for 2021, you're able to stay in the UK for an additional your visa, and you can work full time. If you want to, working in the industry, international country. So then, when you come back to Turkey, so you will have something else, to your employers. So because that is a very good opportunity for our international students. So let me check. Have any more? Okay. Question, Berna, with regards to the ranking, well, on the ranking that you are looking at, we and the Times, the Guardian, Bournemouth University in general, in 130 universities, we are about 65 ranking, but in some areas we are really strong. Yeah. One of the best universities in media, and we have the only center of excellence in computer and in media practice as well. We are strong in that area, and then we are the top in the world in tourism and hospitality, center of tourism and hospitality center. So, and areas like our business school with all our management programs, we have the accreditation, and it's only the 5% base that can get this accreditation. It took universities to get this accreditation. People from universities and from other universities to our universities, and they assess our academia, our staff, our links with the industry, our also in the way we teach, and our facilities. Accreditations, unless you can provide, and you are going to receive excellent quality, and that is something that is really important. When you make sure that those courses are accredited by, because that will help you to now that you can stay in the UK for another year, and that will increase your, and that is basically what I wanted to say. Okay, is I don't know, Talia, have you been reading anything that no?
I think there's one question in the question area, but I think someone asked it, like Gizem, something about animation and design course. Do we mostly work individually or with a group? So I'm not particularly sure about animation, but I think there's a lot of group.
In animation, as you can imagine, is something very where 2 or 3 different courses in animation is that in the real life, and the technical part needs to work. That is something essential. So we offer the computer animation in art and computer technical part. So both of the students have to work together, because will be working with the technical part, animation part, the artistic part. That even students from 1 year, the 2 programs, not only people from the working in project, but also the students from the other cohort as well. So yes, the answer is a lot. It's a lot of course work.
Nuria, there's another question. Someone is asking, is it possible for PhD students to work as a teaching assistant? Yes, my housemate, she's a PhD student and she's working as an assistant lecturer for BU. So yes, it is possible.
Yeah, that's reiterate that yes, to teach at the same time, and you will get paid learning. Yes. In terms of entry requirement, it will be 2.5 minimum. That is what.
Someone is asking about the current situation with the coronavirus and how it will affect group work. So in terms of group works, what they do is if the assignment requires group work, they adjust it. So because you can't do group work, they change it like slightly differently. So they kind of adapt it for you to do it individually. But if it requires practical work with students in your group, you need to come to uni and attend the seminars. But seminars aren't as big as like 300 students. It's only 10 to 15 students. So you will be safe while maintaining the social distancing. You can still do your group work. Someone is asking, are you going to? Yes, so I'm still going to uni, guys. So by the time you come in September, I will still be at uni. So I will finish next May. Someone is asking, I think.
I don't know if I pronounce your name well. I think your question with regards to the it's still available. We are accepting and applications for the program, but be very quickly in terms of you need to organize your visa and time to process an application as well. If you are interested, it's not late, but as long as your application is with us 10th of July, that will give you enough time everything that you need to do. But also you book your accommodation as well, which is important. I just want to explain to you very briefly in regards to the point about the situation at the moment that we have at the university. It is planning to open in September. Have to follow the government guidelines every other country, but open, and we are in the blended education is what we call. Our teaching will be online and some of our on campus. So for all the students, facilities, the specialist facilities, the practical part of it, for the small classrooms, we will try to teach and the rest is online with you will have to to meet academics, to interact with other students from. So online is interact, and you will have that good university, but like any other university, you have to follow the government guidelines. Things are changing every week. This week, for example, we are planning to reopen the whole, all the restaurants and shops from the beginning of the day. Fingers crossed, and everything will be ready to go by then. So that is the situation. And
Nuria, there's one student. So he's holding a British passport, but he's been living in Turkey. So he's asking whether he would be counted as a home applicant. So he's holding a British passport.
That is a very good question. I mean, it's not straightforward. You have a British passport. It's not about your passport, your residence as well, and whether you're as a home student or as a international student. If you've been living in Turkey all your life and all Turkish, even if you have a British passport, you're national. The only difference is that you will not need to the UK. But in terms of fees, unfortunately, to pay the international fees, it's not straightforward. And, once you apply to a specific department that will send that you need to complete, and that assessment will determine whether you are considered UK student or international. your home is in Turkey, your life you've been living in Turkey, probably you will be categorized as an international student. It's something that I cannot confirm in here and without profile.
There's one student who asked in Turkish. She says, in case the pandemic gets even worse, are we eligible to kind of stop our studies? Would it be possible?
Available to do what? Sorry, Talia.
To freeze your studies, like, is it possible?
Oh, okay. If the pandemic gets worse, said all the teaching will then continue online. So unless you have your situation, your personal situation directly for pandemic, or there is, we will continue to teach. We will not stop. Still, you will have to finish your studies next year. At the moment, to our current students, started in March, we have to close down the whole months. They were studying online, but all of them to finish their studies online and to do exams, they will graduate in November. Still, you will have the opportunity to do so.
Lastly, there's a question about ATAS. I'm not sure, so can you see the question?
Is that very much the question? Because I think it's with maybe Sinam. I don't know if a PhD pro interested in. I don't know. You have my email. Your question with the right book after PhD students, you see.
Mm-hmm. I'm also putting here some links in case you want further information, guys. And the first link is on Unibuddy, so you can message me from Unibuddy if you have any questions.
Okay. I'm going to conclude this. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We're planning to provide another one of July, and if us again, please do so, and to come back to you. You have my email as contact details. Please contact any further questions that you may have. Thank you so much for being so, and for your have today, and I hope useful for you, and you finally go to university, and all from us, and we thank you.
So, thank you everyone. Teşekkürler arkadaşlar. 7 Temmuz'daki seminere de katılırsanız daha fazla soru cevaplayabiliriz. Hoşçakalın.
Teşekkür ederiz Talha. Thank you so much, Nuria. It was a great presentation, both of you. Thanks for participating. I hope to see you both in Turkey very soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.